What's
Live
going on, everyone?
from New York City, YenYorkCity. We are back, baby. I'm so excited about today.
We missed these guys.
Oh, man. If you guys are not familiar, they've been on the podcast before. To think, we've had Adam Ferris on the podcast very early on the podcast, I gotta say. We had him when you came along too. I used to do the podcast by myself.
Yeah, what was it, on Halloween? I think
it was on Halloween. We were dressed up. He was Han Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then his doggy was Yoda.
No, was it
Chewbacca? Yes, that's what it was. Aww.
It was
Chewy. It was so fun. And yeah, I can't believe it. And he had short hair. Adam had short hair back then. And what are you doing?
I think I fixed it. Okay.
What happened?
No, we're getting a little bit of glare here.
Yeah.
It was bothering me.
Well,
okay.
As you know, this side of the world, if you guys are tuning in, it's still daylight here in New York City. And it used to not be like that. Like, it used to be like, we used to go on at 7, and then people started saying, no, why don't you go on earlier? So we got the people from UK, from Australia, they tune in and they watch us. And if you guys are not watching us now, you can always catch the replay, which is on YouTube a week after it's aired. And you'll find the clips also on Instagram. We like putting clips, and it's always fun. Why are you so fidgety?
The music is loud.
Is it too loud? Is it too loud?
I gotta mix. I gotta engineer everything. You know, I gotta make some adjustments.
He has some new toys.
I have a lot of fun stuff I'm working with right now. So
yes. So we did the festival. Let's catch up. Because we came back.
we have a lot that we want to kind of disclose.
Oh shit! Yeah, we do.
You know?
We do.
Like we did the festival. The festival was.
It was great.
It was when was it? It was in May.
It was 2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
Time's flying. I forgot what day it is.
Yeah.
So
it's May already. We're in the middle of May.
Yeah. We did a show at Sky Museum on May 3rd. And
we went upstate for that.
It was upstate in Lake George.
It was your first time going upstate.
My first time, and it was a little rainy, but
it was raining all weekend.
It was fun though. We had a good time. It was good turnout. You know, we had special guests, violinists and bassists, join us for a few songs at the end of our show. We debuted our new song, Flight 98, which is coming out on the 27th of this month.
Yeah, it's coming up.
So. Pre-save is available. Pre-orders, command pre-save, pre-orders in chat if you're watching on Twitch. But you can also find the links on our socials, in our bios. Be sure to catch that once it's launched.
And we also have a global citizen voting. We actually got selected to be part of.
It was an event called America's Top Hit Maker, yeah. And then we seen it in circulation on Instagram. We were like,
it kept on being like, hi.
Yeah, it was like poking at us, like, sign up, damn it. So.
And the winner gets to perform on the same stage with like Alice Cooper in Central Park, and that's one of my dreams.
At the Global Citizens Park stage. It's a huge stage, and they have big events that happen. We seen Garbage play there. With Lou Gallagher, what's his name? Not Lou Gallagher. What's his name?
No.
One of the guys
Anyways.
from.
Yeah, and Doja Cat. I showed you when Doja Cat was there, and I like me some Doja Cat. I mean, she's weird sometimes, but I like her. And it would be awesome if we get votes and we get in.
That is on the same day as our album, our single launch, 5/27.
Yes.
So we're going to be campaigning the album, or the single. I'm saying album because we're working on an album too. So
yeah, that's going to be out in September.
So we're campaigning the single on top of the voting. So if you want to help us out, you want to give us that opportunity, you see it right there on the panel. Command vote.
It's just cool to be on there, you know, getting some exposure. And Central Park is like a really big landmark. That's like Central Park, Madison Square Garden. It would be awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, I just like that our hat was, we were thrown into the hat, like they say, because, it gets more eyes on us.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Sometimes you got to take, shoot your shot and see what happens, just like the festival. Like we didn't. Last year I said, oh, it would be really cool to do festivals, and then now we're doing festivals, and we got hit up to do 2 more that we're considering. So that would be really, really fun. I like festivals; they're really fun.
Yeah,
it was the same weekend as
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con. It was the same weekend in Saratoga, which was next door to Lake George. That's upstate, and also it was May 4th. So there was a lot of the nerds were out.
A lot of Star Wars peeps.
Yeah, so that was fun. Everybody was dressed up either in cyberpunk or steampunk. We did something kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Nice little blend. And then we're aiming to do another festival in October for Halloween, so stay tuned for that update.
That's gonna be a big one.
But we do have a show lined up in July 17th.
In Dirty Jersey, his hometown.
At Dingbats.
That's a pretty big
Clifton,
venue.
New Jersey. Yeah, a lot of touring bands go through there. So we got asked to join on a couple of shows, and we chose to play on that day. And we're working on a new song, so hopefully we'll have that song out and to debut around that time frame too.
We're always working on new songs.
We're staying busy.
You gotta keep it going, keep it flowing.
Busy.
And these guys that we have on today, they keep it flowing, they keep it going. They have a new album out, and we're gonna be diving into the video too, the music video.
The music
they have
video.
a
We're gonna talk about that. And the creation. There's a lot of stuff we need to catch up on in the past 2 years almost that they've been on.
They're one of my favorite bands, and I think that you guys, if you get to know them, get to check them out, I think they're going to be one of your favorite bands too. And I feel like they just need to be out there just touring. I would love to see them come up here on the East Coast, you know, like, oh man, the way I think they would be received so warmly. We really need bands like these out there, getting exposure, getting to see I feel like everyone that's either on that side of the States, or we also talk about this a lot, how people from Europe are like really...
Yeah, they're coming out with some amazing acts out there. A lot of great bands coming out from that location. Look at Vanaheim.
Vanaheim, yeah.
Like they played at that big festival out there. Was it Wacom? I think it's called.
Yeah, they opened up for a lot of
open air.
Yeah.
One of those.
Parthian, they were on a tour with Soulfly. I mean, if you guys
yeah.
That's big. That's big. I mean, being a
fan. We saw that flyer, so we'll talk about that.
Let's get them on. Because I'm ready to go. Let's talk about what they've been up to. Parthian, are you ready for me, baby?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And here is Parthian. Again, back again, baby. Parthian on YenYorkCity Live. Let's do it. Woo! There they go. Look at them. Looking good, guys.
What's going on?
Just living.
Yeah. Seeing if we get destroyed by tornadoes today.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's some crazy weather right now in old Kansas. Tornado Alley, as they call it.
Yeah, you're right down that strip.
So you guys are like in the middle of Kansas. Or like
dead ass in the middle, yeah.
Dead ass.
So do you guys have like a safe place, like a
bunker?
Or like what do you call those places inside of the ground?
Cellar?
Well, there's a basement here, and that would probably be a safer place for us. But instead, we're like, you know what? Let's just go onto the top level and just risk it and have no open windows. So we have no clue what's happening. So if we're going to die, it's just going to be a complete surprise.
No.
Make for good content.
Hardcore right now.
That would not be good, actually.
So have you ever been in one that it was like, phew, like it was like really... Like
close call?
Like category, what is it? Like when it's really, really high?
5?
There's
F5.
a couple of big ones recently. There's a town that's kind of one town to the east of us that had a really big tornado hit. They're called Andover. And they actually historically are just very unlucky with tornadoes. They had one in like I want to say it was like the late 90s that like leveled the entire town.
Oh, geez.
And then this one took out the YMCA and like some of the other stuff. But like it did some pretty monstrous damage. Like it's nothing to mess with, but it doesn't happen often enough that it's like anything that anyone thinks about like on a regular basis.
I lost my first year. I have a story.
Story time.
Story time.
So being from the West Coast, we don't get tornadoes particularly often. And my first year here in Kansas had a big one come through, and yeah, it took the roof off the house I was living in at the time. Thankfully, I had a basement. Like, everybody was fine, but it was terrifying. I realized right then that Kansas don't play around.
Yeah. So I think what would be proper right now is to go down the line and tell us your name. How are you in the band? What instrument do you play? And how long you've been in the band.
Yeah. For anyone new that's watching.
Yeah.
We go from prettiest to prettiest. It's a scale of pretty, man.
That's kind of hard because I got to say, with Adam and your bro that glow up. So if you guys didn't watch the last episode we had with bass player right here, so there's a switch, right? There's a switch here. It's Jackie next to Adam right there with the short hair. So he's the bass player, right? So
correct, yeah.
The last time there was a different bass player.
Unfortunately.
Wait, before we jump into that, let's get to know everyone else first.
Yes,
We're jumping right in. Hold on.
All right. Well, I will.
But he said from prettiest. That's why I said it's kind of even now. We don't know who's the prettiest now because Jackie and Adam are kind of competing now. Like, who's the prettiest now?
Yeah, they're competing for the bottom tier.
Tell them.
Yeah.
Tell them.
DJ's got it right there.
Clearly. All right, well, I'll kick us off. I am DJ, the drummer. Why am I in the band? Because they can't get rid of me. I just keep coming back.
Because you're an epic drummer.
Sometimes. No, I love these guys, and I play drums, and they let me play drums, so that's all pretty sweet.
And why are you the prettiest?
Oh, I mean, that's obvious. Have you seen my beard?
Yes.
It's definitely the beard. It's always the beard. Whoever has the longest beard, the wiser.
It's getting gray, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, you got a lot to catch up on here.
He has a lot.
I think our lighting is helping me. Mine's not quite there, but it's looking a little rough.
Do you use any beard oil or anything like that?
No, I pretty much just raw dog it.
Just let it do its thing.
I've got a really nice natural beard shampoo, and that's really my only go-to. Just keep it real soft and clean.
That's the way to go. I'm always telling Luna, let's tame it a little bit, because as you can see,
I want to grow it down to my belly button.
He keeps on. Now you finally get it.
I made it this far. I might as well keep going.
A lot of times he's like, I don't know, I want to cut it, and I'm like,
I think they stopped growing. I'm not gonna lie. I think there's like a terminal like velocity on these. they stopped.
It's like, all right, this is the cutoff, guys. We can't go any further.
Yeah, it just at some point it says it's done, which is unfortunate because I would like to grow it to my belly button to match his hair.
Yes.
And you're the original drummer, right? There's only been one.
Oh, the one and only. Adam and I started this band with some hopes and some dreams and some poorly written tracks.
I think you guys are an awesome team together, because the drummer and the singer, they gotta be locked in for real.
We're locked in. We've been going at it for years now. But I'll show some love.
Adam.
Oh, wow. Hello, I'm Adam. I sing and scream and play guitar, and I have the worst beard in the entire band. So there's that.
It's okay. You have the best hair.
Can you grow a beard though?
Not really. Like I don't know. It's a poor attempt for sure. Like it's kind of neck beardish. I feel like this whole front part of my chin just stays bald. I don't know.
Even when you shave it and you shave it on, it doesn't grow back thicker.
Well, I've tried to grow it out a few times, and I'll always look back at pictures and just be like, oh, that was a bad attempt at growing a beard. It's never turned out good. I don't know. You can't be like a clean shaven babyface guy in today's world. It's just people are sus about that kind of a thing. So I have to have some stubble in order to just reassure people that I'm not a serial killer or something.
You got the stash going, so that's good.
But yeah, this is all I'm working with.
No, it looks good. Your hair looks great. It's grown so much since. When was the first podcast? Because the first podcast.
It's probably too long.
The first podcast you had it really short.
And you were, it was just you and Progcraft on Twitch, and you would do your streams, your guitar streams, and it was really short. And then after I think the pandemic, all the guys were like, you know what, we're just gonna let it go.
Let it grow.
Let it grow.
Yeah, it was that excuse to not have to get a haircut. It's like, oh no, I can't get a haircut, and then just you got to go through that awkward phase. Like there was like a few months that were pretty touch and go there, but we're good now.
Mm. And you rebranded too, right? You came out of Progcraft. You're now Adam Ferris everywhere.
On everything except Twitch. I still kept the name for Twitch, but I don't know. Like I always had like 2 of every social account. One for the Progcraft thing, and then one for just like my personal stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, this is getting to be too much to manage. So kind of just combined the 2. So now it's just like Adam Scott Ferris on most things.
And if you guys recognize that name, he had a solo on one of our songs, the last single.
Yes.
Unawake.
Yes, he played a solo on our song. I reached out to him. He was like, for sure, I'll do it. And then I sent it to him. He's like, hey, this is kind of fun. I could put something on this. And then I showed him the rest of the song. He was like, if I would have heard the rest of the song, I would have done something completely different.
No, it was perfect.
But I'm glad that it worked out. So.
It was perfect. When I heard it, I was like, yes.
That's
so good.
It's interesting. I've never like worked on something like that where I only heard like a small section of the song and then did something and then heard the entire thing and I was like, okay, like not where I was expecting it to go, but like I think it still works. Like
it was
a cool
perfect.
little vibe.
It gave it its own unique like presence, and it wasn't influenced, right? So like you were only subjected to that little section. So you're like, okay, well I can do something on this section regardless of what the rest of the song is gonna be. So like whatever you did, it still flowed, It was perfect.
Yeah, I'm happy with how it turned out. Thank you guys again for letting me do that. That was a lot of fun. Like it's something I hope to do more of in the future. So.
Oh yeah, we'll have you on again.
My dream, and when we perform that, of course, we're still looking for a guitarist, a permanent one. So we hire guns a lot and stuff. And my dream is like when that part of the song comes out, I look over and I see this redheaded god just doing the shredding that part of the song.
Just walking up on stage just for that one moment, just to be on there shredding it out with us.
I would totally do it too.
And then have all you guys, obviously like be on the bill, like, and when you guys come
we'll
up
open up
here
for you guys.
To like New York City, like come up here, have a show together. I mean, we can make that happen, of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like there's
that'd be sweet.
That Halloween
nice
show.
Halloween show going on.
Yeah, it's like a festival Halloween show. And I was like, man, they would be perfect for that. Like if they had like a mini tour going to the East Coast and then end Halloween in New York and do I mean, that was just like a thought in my mind. But I know you guys with this new album, like you guys are doing more like small little tours around the States, right?
Yeah, like little weekend runs and stuff like that. We're kind of in talks with some promoters right now, setting some stuff up. We took like a pretty decent sized break, I would say, from playing live to just finish up the record and kind of get a few things squared away and stuff. And now we're like ready to hit the ground running. So
what was the last show that you guys played? The one that it was the album release party, right? I saw those pictures.
We had one since then. We actually we got to open for the band I Hate God. They're like kind of like a legendary like doom metal band from New Orleans. They came through a bar in town. So we got to play with them. That was super, super cool. We've got a show next month actually with it's a band called First Jason, and the singer is the original actor that played the child version of Jason from the Friday the 13th films.
Oh wow!
Like the very first Friday the 13th film where they had like that twist at the end where he jumps out of the water. He was that kid.
What?
Yeah, spoilers. Sorry.
Spoiler alert.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
You heard it here third.
Yeah, third.
Wow, it's always cool to hear somebody that came up from being a childhood actor or something, and then they come out with like a metal band or whatever. It's always cool.
Yeah, because historically, child actors do really, really well in adult life.
That's what I mean. I mean, at least they heal through music.
Yeah,
and
look at Macaulay Culkin.
Hey, he actually had a glow up recently.
Yeah,
Macaulay
he did.
Culkin's doing great
He
now.
did. I love him, so I love Home
Corey
Alone.
Feldman playing guitar solos.
Oh man, So yeah, the guy that we were watching and he keeps on coming into our
the one that acts like Michael Jackson and playing random solos. Yeah,
he was touring with Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
and then he comes in and he's like doing stuff with his guitar, and yeah, we all seen that.
he's a meme.
Aww.
Yeah, definitely.
I love all the movies he was in growing up, though. I love all those.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, as an actor. But yeah, child actors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm glad that he actually turned out great, and he's doing like, what was it, a progressive metal band also? That the band that you guys are opening up for?
So I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure like what they are stylistically. I haven't really had a chance to listen to much of their music. Like we literally heard it was like horror icon coming to Wichita, and it's like, yes, we will be there.
Say no more.
That's awesome.
So speaking of actors, one of the main actors from your music video is sitting right next to you.
Oh yeah, you were looking like a straight up actor, like the main character.
Introduce yourself, my friend.
My name is Jackie, and I'm the bass player, and I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here.
We're glad that you're back, Jackie. Like
Thank
you're
you.
supposed to be. It was meant for you to come back. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that.
It was.
You want to talk about it now that Jackie's on the mic?
Might as well put him on the spot.
What do we want to talk about?
I mean, Jackie was the original bass player.
If you don't, it's fine. If you really don't want to jump into it, it's okay.
Actually, I'll correct you there. I was not the original bass player. I actually replaced somebody else.
But he was the bass player that we wanted from the beginning.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before I even knew him, Adam's like, we've got to get this guy in the band. And I'm like, I don't know this guy. Like, I don't know why you're all up on his nuts like that. But
And DJ didn't like me at first, so he wouldn't let me in the band. But then eventually he got to know me and liked me, and then let me in the band.
it happened the exact opposite. I just had resting bitch face. I liked him totally fine. Then I got to know him. Then I didn't like him. No,
It's like switched sides. It's switched.
But that's the romance between the bass player and the drummer, right? I mean,
It is.
It's a marriage for
we've
sure.
We've shared small beds together.
Who was the
Let me
big
just pose
spoon?
the one question. Oh,
I mean,
Me.
obviously, like the teddy bear right there. That's who I want to
that's me. I'm
spoon.
the teddy bear.
Yeah.
Nothing like a teddy bear to keep you warm.
What's your feeling on thumb picks?
Yeah. They have their place in bluegrass. Yeah.
Not metal.
Not metal, no.
All right, we're taking no further questions on previous bass players.
Thumb picks.
Thumb picks, yeah.
Interesting.
I'm still finding them all over my floor and the practice space. So
Thumb picks here. You're out, man. You're out.
So would you say you're do you like messing with that, or do you just like you do the slap bass?
Jackie's not a thumb pick kind of guy.
I'm not a thumb pick kind of guy, and to be like 100% honest, I have nothing against using a pick on a bass. I think for like recording,
I do.
I think for recording, it's almost sometimes necessary to like get that attack you want. But I play finger style just because that's how I learned, and I never learned anything else. So
I prefer that too.
It's a warmer approach to hitting the strings. You know, you're not getting that's the slapness of the pick itself on the string. You know,
for sure.
and
Depending
yeah,
on the
it works
sound.
for certain styles of music, but then there's others that it's really a preference type thing.
Some would say
Yeah,
the
that's
wrong way or
like
the right way.
100% it.
It's true. You either play it right or you play with a pick.
I mean, you say that there's some badass
No, it's
players
true.
that
It's
use
true.
a pick.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna hate. I'm not because it's
There
true.
is.
If there's certain people that this is the sound that you
The bassist
prefer.
from Tool uses a pick.
Not
Yeah,
all the time.
absolutely.
I have no skin in that game. I just want to stir the pot.
You got to sometimes.
It's like playing with drumsticks or playing with your hands.
Yeah.
Oh, what
I
kind
like
of
the
sticks you like?
warmness, getting my hands on the drums.
Yeah.
I think sticks are for
Like
they're
slapping
kind
the
of a
cymbals.
crutch. Yeah. If you're not slapping cymbals,
You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. Ow. My hands hurt just thinking about that.
Dude.
I'm good on that.
And
You
your
remember
one
that
symbol
redemption
that
you
was
had?
like cracked into pieces forever.
DJ,
If you're not losing fingers.
listen, I had a redemption where I had to play my E-kit with my hands. And I'm like, this should be fine, you know, the sensitivity
For like, what, 5
of
minutes?
the sensors should be okay. No, it's actually worse than playing on an acoustic because you're slapping the shit out of thick rubber pads, and the mesh wasn't so bad, but the pads of the cymbals, forget it.
No, but the funniest part was that the stream froze, and the whole chat was trying to say, damn, and you were like going off.
Yeah, mid stream, I'm like, yeah, my hands were, at the end of it, my hands were swelling, I tell you that much.
That sounds brutal.
It was.
It was fun, though.
And last but not least.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Justin, and I play guitar and some solos.
Justin! Fucking Justin, man.
We had him on last time when he joined in.
Yes.
You know.
That was a good show.
And what was the question again to get him into the band?
No, I'm trying to. There we go.
What was the?
So one day I showed up on Adam's doorstep in a burlap sack. Then ever since.
It was a big burlap.
Yeah. Says, you know, Jackie left and I was still in the band at the time. I think I'm number 3 in seniority, isn't that right? I think that's how it works. So yeah, fuck him. But yeah. Yeah, you guys got any questions?
Yeah, so there was a question that they asked you when you were trying out for the band. What was that question again?
As soon as they met you for the first time.
I think it was how big's your cock?
Yes. That was it.
I like that one better.
What have you heard? Yeah.
What have you heard? Whatever it is, it may or may not be true.
You made that a clip too. I remember you made that a clip.
You have to break the ice quickly, and Jackie, bless his soul, he broke it the second. Like, we weren't even in the facilities yet. We were in the parking lot.
Awkward walk up.
Yeah. I didn't even know who it was. I was like, this is probably them.
Yes.
It was on the first sight.
So how was it since you were on when you got on board with them? Was it 2 years now, roughly?
Yeah, 2.5.
2.5, and then you're now a part of a full album.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So how was that journey? Like, how do you feel being in the band now? And
yeah, I went from being a fan to being in the band. So
living the dream.
DJ used to give me shit like we almost kicked you out, but you played everything, right? And I was like, well, I wouldn't have even driven up here to meet you guys if I didn't like your music. He's like, fair enough. But no, it's been a lot of fun writing with Adam and everybody. I mean, like, we just click. One thing I'm actually very anal about is like vocal patterns and songs. And I think I've told Adam this several times. Like, he's the only singer I've ever worked with out of probably like 10 plus people that I haven't picked apart their music and been like, no, do your scream or vocals here. So that's very refreshing because, yeah, at the same time,
he's doing his job
easy.
as to the way you enjoy it.
Exactly.
It's been, to add to that, it's been a beautiful experience. Adam and Justin are like peanut butter and jelly, which is great because Jack and I are like lamb and tuna. Like, we got two perfect.
Who's the bread?
Lamb and tuna. Who's the tuna?
Along the way.
Who's the tuna?
Who's the tuna?
Who's the tuna?
I took a shower, so it's not me.
I also took a shower this morning. He's the tuna. I'm the lamb. No, but watching these two work together it's been a great experience. They started clicking almost right away. It was a beautiful thing to sit back and watch, where Adam would have an idea and Justin just he's like an idiot savant or something. He picks up the guitar and he can translate exactly what Adam's saying out to him. He's just like, oh, this is how you play it. And he's like, also, you could just do a crazy harmony right here, and he'll just play it right out.
But the creative style that Justin brings, would you say added a lot of elements that were missing with the band now that Justin started helping?
Absolutely. I by no means consider myself like a lead player or like a solo guy by any means. I was just kind of like forcing it to just try to, you know, have that thing in the band. And like, luckily since meeting Justin, I've been able to improve like a lot on guitar and feel like a lot more confident because he's shown me like a lot of stuff that I just didn't even know how to begin to like kind of grasp. But what I will say is like Justin's songwriting is absolutely unbelievable. It was one of the reasons that I was like, we cannot let this guy not join the band. He had a solo album that he made, and we listened to it before we ever even met with him. And I just remember immediately hearing the songs and thinking like, oh, this is going to be such a good fit for our music. Like he writes in a way that just kind of encapsulates like everything that I love about like metal songwriting. So it was like a match made in heaven. I remember, so we have a song on the new record called Viscera of Eternal Damnation. He came up with the title of that as well, and we kept it. It was like the working title, but it sounded so cool. We were like, I just wrote lyrics around that concept. But also like the music that he sent is like pretty much one for one. Like the riffs he sent are like one for one for what's on the record. Like it was just immediate that it sounded like Parthian. Like there was no like growth period. There was no like trying to figure out how he fit in the band. It was like day one. It was just like, yeah, he's the guy. And it's been incredible. Like the songs we've written on this record never would have happened without like his influence and him coming in. And like quite honestly, he recorded like 90 to 95% of the guitar riffs on the album. Like I think I recorded like a couple of bass parts, like one little solo and one riff that was just very like distinctively my style. And for the most part, like I was able to just focus on like vocals and stuff. And that's been huge. Like he's an invaluable asset to the band. We love him to death.
That's beautiful.
I love you too.
Love fest.
I don't want
super
it.
rare. That's super rare. I mean, we've been on a hunt for a perfect guitarist, and it's kind of hard because Luna's the type. He's like, he has to find us. How do you go about the process of finding a Justin in your life? Did you put out ads, or did he come to you, or what was the way that you did it?
We found him on Tinder, actually.
We found him on Grindr. No, it was actually I don't know, a little serendipitous because we were talking to another just absolute shredder in town. So getting out to local shows, meeting people, connecting, like that's of course the biggest first step because if Adam hadn't met this good man Jordan, we would have never met Justin, because essentially another shredder in town, we're like, hey, like, what's your thoughts on, you know, coming, jamming, maybe joining the band? He's like, I've got a lot of stuff going on. He's like, but I know a guy, and if you can get him out of his bedroom, he'll be perfect for you guys. And somehow we did. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, isn't the like true story, sorry to ruin the fun here, but isn't the true story that you sent him one of our songs and he listened to it, wrote a solo over it, and was like, I dig this shit?
Yeah. That was like the second part of the story. So yeah, what DJ said is absolutely true. We reached out to this guy, Jordan Wynn, who's just incredible guitar player. Like, I don't know how Justin just has so many friends that are just absolute like mad shredders, but he just has like this crew of people he surrounds himself with that are just like the craziest guitar players on the planet. But Jordan, he was actually featured in the Jared Dines Shred collab.
Oh, wow.
So if you go back, not this most recent one, but I think the one before, he has a solo on that Shred collab with some of the greatest guitar players like on the planet, Jason Richardson, like all these people. So that's wild. But he introduced us to Justin, and he even said, he was like, I think Justin would be a better fit for your band than I would, because he loves the kind of music that you guys make and everything. So then fast forward, we talked to Justin, and yeah, he sent us a solo like the day after we like reached out to him, and it's almost exactly the solo that he still plays to this day over Illusions of Grandeur. Yeah. It was just unbelievable. Just, I don't know. I can't say enough about how good of a guitar player he is. It's unreal. Like to this day, I still just watch him play guitar and just, I'm in awe. It's unbelievable.
Justin, that's like what you want to hear. And like every singer wants to describe their members in that way. Like I'm just like in awe of him when I watch him. Like perfect.
It's nice.
It's very nice.
Yeah, for us, we're trying to find like a solid member, bass player, guitarist, right? And the way my feeling is that
You're just very picky too.
I'm picky as fuck.
And,
like
and we've had a few try to
like,
reach out
because I'm writing the songs, right? And they have to be able to play it the way I wrote it in a very at least closely.
Writing.
If I'm a drummer, if I can play these songs and you can't, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
Right.
I don't play guitar. I made the guitars. You know?
Yeah, he's been
so
good though.
So like, if I was to send a track to someone, we're reaching out to someone, I want them to be as passionate as we are when we're playing, right? And what we're creating, and also see our vision, and also be a part of our business, right? Because it is, to us, it is a business for us too. You know, we're out, we're trying to establish ourselves. We're also, doing our podcast stuff too. Like, we're trying to stay on the grind and get things going for us. We're gonna play festivals. We're making this as big as possible.
Networking is important, yes.
So we want to find someone that has that same vision, that has that same idea,
and
right?
the drive.
Same drive. We gotta have someone that actually uses social media, because nowadays everyone has to have
that's facts.
social media. Like seriously, it's
facts,
the world we're in now is digital, and if
I don't have social media. I'm sorry.
But you guys have a band.
Yeah.
With
That's
your
why we kicked him out the
socials.
first time.
yeah, I mean, if the band's profiles, if the band itself isn't posting anything, you guys aren't getting the exposure you need to be getting, right?
It's true.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not the way it was before, where you could just show up to places and hand out business cards and CDs, right? Like,
No, yeah.
to an extent,
Nobody
Street
cares.
teams.
to
Remember street
an
teams?
extent it can work, but it's harder and it's longer. And now you have the world at your grasps when you're online in this digital world, so
It's absolutely true.
so that's my perspective, and I want to make sure that someone coming in can see that vision and also be a part of that. And I want someone to come to us, because I know if they come to us, they are legitimately listening to our music and they're like, I like this, I want to try out for this.
I get that. I think another important thing to keep in mind is anybody coming in fresh is not going to care as much as you do. Like, they're not going to carry the same passion because they haven't cultivated it. I think it's really important to remember that the most important thing out the gate is the person. Like, if you can't hang with this person, if you say in your mind, I could not sit in a van for 12 hours with this person.
Or spoon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as the newest, person to join. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Seniority resets confirmed.
Seniority resets, but I've known this man for years. No, but that's the point I'm making, is that we met, the person was dope. It didn't hurt that you happened to be a god when it came to guitar and meat. Smoking meat, to be specific. But the person's really important. The personality, being able to hang with them.
The chemistry,
And- Yeah, exactly. If you don't have that chemistry, it doesn't matter if they can pick up a guitar and,
Well, that is definitely a
Like,
number one thing you got to have is to have that personality, like that connection,
Well, and I think in today's world, like the musicianship and like the ability to play your instruments almost like just assumed, like if you're coming into any kind of a band these days, it's like you better be sick on your instrument, and then from there it's all about like the hang. And yeah, like, I mean, we're all just like four best friends just hanging out. Like, it's awesome. Like, luckily, like, I've surrounded myself with musicians that are also just super, super sick at their instruments. But most importantly, like, we're a family. Like, we all just, get together as much as we can, watch movies, play video games, smoke up meats, because Justin's just incredible at smoking meats as well.
Oh, that's a big bonus too.
Yeah, he'll make a brisket that will change your life.
Oh, I love brisket too. Yeah, that's really important. Somebody that could cook.
I mean, and to your point with that, being able to hang, right? Like, we were watching the whole Primus thing go down.
Oh yeah,
And there was
that's a
so
good
many
example.
great drummers. But it's like their thing too is like, we can see ourselves hanging out with this person. We can see ourselves dealing with their farts on the bus. Like that's
Like, there was some, if you watch some of them, you could see that they are like incredible drummers. And yeah, I mean, off the bat, they're incredible. But then like the awkwardness in some of them, like with everything is really depends on the way the soup
conversations.
is. Yeah, the whole thing.
Can you Can you hang with our jokes?
Right there, yeah.
Well, and we're all awkward in our own way, right? It's finding different types of awkward that you can relate to and like connect with. Like we're all very awkward, but we're the right kinds of awkward. All of our luggage fits together.
Yeah.
Yes. I get that.
Also, Primus sucks.
Damn. Well, I feel like they're very an acquired taste, like some people don't like sushi and some people really love sushi.
I wasn't into Primus.
That opinion does not reflect the entire band. That's just DJ. He has some very, divisive opinions about certain bands.
It is very
animals as leaders.
It is very animals as leaders.
Yeah, they also suck.
No.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Luna wasn't a huge Tool fan, and I am, and I took him to see them.
Sucks.
Okay, so this is the thing, but then,
DJ, you're about to say some fighting words, dude. Go pull back.
All right, do you think Dream Theater sucks?
Oh no.
Does Dream Theater suck? Are you asking me or are you asking Luna?
Yes, you.
No. Dream Theater doesn't suck.
Are you just saying that now? Are you just saying that now?
No.
He likes Kiss. Okay.
Kiss kicks ass. Yeah. That's a known fact of the universe.
Kiss sucks.
All right.
I'm kidding. No.
I like Kiss, and I would still admit that Kiss sucks.
I mean, I admit that they suck, but I still love them.
Yeah.
Guilty pleasure. It's like Motley Crue or any band that came out between us.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about that too. How like Kiss, even whether you love them or hate them or you don't get it,
Foo Fighters sucks.
They end up being like the biggest band like on the planet. They even sell caskets. Like they have all kinds of merch. They're from my dad's hometown. My dad grew up with Ace Frehley, so he has stories.
I love that.
And I was like, damn, like I wish I loved them more because of the relation between that. But like, and then I have a friend that, the one that set it all up with the bass player that we had. He had a Kiss tribute band with him. And then he's an enormous Kiss, fan. But I mean, we don't get it like that. But there's a lot of people that don't like Dream Theater, but they respect, the musicians in Dream Theater, right? And then there's a lot of people that don't like Tool, but Danny Carey is one of my favorite drummers.
Yeah, I wasn't a big Tool kind of guy in the beginning. Like I heard like a couple of their songs I enjoyed, like Ticks and Leeches and.
I took him to see Tool and he got it.
But then like when I saw them for the first time live, I was like, okay, I can see why. Like I can see how everyone is really into their stuff because it's musically sound and they all work together as a 3-piece band or 4-piece. And
you wait your turn.
And then I took him to see Pussifer with A Perfect Circle and Primus. They had that.
I didn't like Primus in the beginning. I was like, I can't see how and why people enjoy this kind of music. They're like a meme. They're a meme band, like they talk about puppies and shit. But
they are.
But
that's the thing.
Hearing them live, right? I was like, okay, I can see how crazy they are musically, right? They're like. Their creativity is just out of the norm, which makes them stand out. And I'm like, I can see how that kind of flows. I can appreciate their music. It's not like I can listen to them. Like, I'm not going to have the craving to listen to Primus all the time. But, like, if I hear them, I can still enjoy listening to them on the radio, when they pop up or something like that.
I get that. I'll clear the air. With Tool, the individual musicianship is great. The music doesn't do anything for me. I think it's boring. But, like Primus is not boring. Like, I don't think there's a single person who would say they're a boring band. I think they're incredibly talented, but it's memey, jokey music, and I'm not always looking to be with Tom the boxcar racer or whatever.
My name is Mud.
My name is Mud. They're fun. Their crowd is fun. Like they have a good following. Fun fans.
They're all high as fuck.
Yeah. We went. We're like, damn.
We're getting hot box outside.
Yes. I love them.
Dream Theater kicks ass. They just need a new vocalist.
I agree.
Yeah. Or just go
Or
instrumental.
just no vocalist. Like I'd be okay with either.
I think they should just hire Haken's vocalist
Oh, yeah.
You just got a 4 out of 4 over here. Like we're all in agreement.
Yeah, we've all said that too.
Ross is a killer vocalist.
But I do not like animals as leaders. They're boring. They have
boring.
We went to see them too.
I don't know how they're boring. They have a lot going on in their sound.
There's so much happening, but it's not saying anything. It's just a lot of technical noise.
He's just mad because their drummer's too good.
Yeah. Too much guitar thumping. That needs to stay on the bass, right?
They should have if they had a bass player, they would definitely be better. Yeah.
If they had a bass player.
So what are you guys listening to now? Like what is your the album of the summer? Like what is it that you have playing on repeat right now around you guys?
I'll kick it off. There's been a couple bangers, but recently a pretty constant spin has been the new Machine Head for me. So
nice, good. That's
I didn't realize they dropped new stuff.
Wow.
They did. A couple weeks ago they put out a new album. It's a little poppier than their last album, but I think the elements are still done really well. I think the music's fun, and it's riff city, all sorts of nasty, stanky riffs on it. So I give it 7 metal hands out of 10.
7 metal hands.
7 metal hands.
I'll be honest, I've been kind of lagging on listening to newer stuff recently. I've just been kind of going like back a little bit. I don't know why. Like, I'm just in one of those moods where I just want to listen to like older death metal and stuff. So I've been listening to a lot of Morbid Angel right now. I really like the album Domination. Album's killer. Wrong Domination. But yeah, the most recent like new album, I would say, honestly, yeah, the new Machine Head is sweet. Like I went and listened to that recently. That's probably the newest album I've listened to actually, and holds up. It's good. Good stuff.
We gotta check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm always stuck in oldie land. I pretty much only listen to Mastodon, but as far as new stuff, I did check out the new Omnific album, and you know, of course, I play bass, and that shit's badass.
Makes sense.
I, on the other hand, am all over the freaking place. So I've been listening to this Japanese metal band, Hanabi, and I freaking love them.
Hanabi.
Yeah, Hanabi, like they're similar to Baby Metal, but I think just a little harder. What is it? You ever heard of the Viagra Boys? So they're very entertaining on stage. They got kind of like a Bloodhound Gang vibe, but the singer is just ridiculous. I mean, their name is the Viagra Boys. You just look them up. And then another band called 8 Mil and the Sniffers.
8 Mil and the Sniffers?
I gotta write this
like
down.
Amy with an L. 8 Mil and the Sniffers. They are an Australian punk band, and they're freaking awesome.
Huh.
But yeah, other than that,
Sniffers.
And the Sniffers.
Yeah.
Just when you look up Viagra Boys, be careful for what pops up.
Okay.
Oh no!
That sounds like a trap waiting to happen.
It's a trap. It's a trap. Don't do it.
There's no band.
All right. Well, yeah. I have just a ridiculous taste all over the place.
That's good, though.
That's good.
I actually have a story about that. We were playing in, I think it was Lincoln, Nebraska or Omaha, Nebraska one time. And Justin, like, somehow found the only other person in, like, the audience or maybe in the world that knew of every underground band that he knew of as well.
Oh, don't you love when that happens?
Hearing these two list off at least 100 bands that I'd never heard of in my entire life was the wildest thing. And then they would like name the album and be like, yeah, but only these 3 songs off this album, and like name the songs. It was crazy. I felt like I was like in that meme where there's all the numbers flying at you. I was just sitting there like, what is happening
speaking a different
right
language? You're like, wait a minute.
For sure. And actually, I think it was Lincoln. I want to say it was Lincoln, Nebraska, because we that was a sweet show. We got to open for, I don't know if you guys have heard of Gorod, but they're like very legendary, like kind of progressive-y tech death band. They were incredible.
Wow.
Summoning the Lich was on that show. They're kind of having to come up recently. They were just, I think they were just about to put an album out when we saw them. They were awesome. They had some of the coolest merch ever. They handed us like business cards, but they were like Magic the Gathering cards that said Summoning the Lich.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was
that's
sweet.
something Luna will go crazy for.
Right, it was awesome, and I'm really glad to see them doing well. They are incredible musicians, put on a hell of a show. We played with a band called Flub. They have since flubbed out. They're not making music anymore. But they're a few of their members, or I don't know if they were just filling in, are in a band called Cyborg Octopus that put a record out recently.
Amazing.
Yeah, they were incredible musicians. It was super cool.
Cyborg Octopus.
Yeah, you should look them up. You would like them a lot. They're very proggy.
Sounds like it. Anything with octopus in there.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The proggiest of all animals.
I was gonna say there is one other band that just came out with an album. I guess they've been around forever, but I'd never heard of them, called Deaf Heaven, and they're freaking amazing. Like they're super good, and it just came out a couple weeks ago.
This guy knows every underground band ever, but he's never heard of Deaf Heaven.
Deaf Heaven.
No, they're so good. Their album was awesome.
Yeah, it's like I feel like you're just naming out random names just to say that they're an underground band.
Well, like if you ask him, he's like, well, you guys never listened to "I Shit Out the 12th Story Window"? We're like,
wait,
like actual names.
Second Story Window. That's an actual band.
Oh yeah, from a Second Story Window. Yeah.
Oh God.
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
They were kind of like not grindcore. I mean, I don't know.
They're post-pig core.
Kind of like Siopus, or it's just ridiculousness.
Hey, if you're gonna talk music with Justin, just strap in.
Lock and strap in.
What's the craziest band name you've encountered?
Oh my God! Remember the one with unicorns? I can't even remember. It was like, I don't know, like 13 words together. It was like something unicorns.
13 words?
Over the world.
Oh my God, that's not easy to remember.
It literally sounds like somebody just face planting on a keyboard, and like while drums do blast beats and the screamer goes.
Wow.
That's great. It takes a bit to really come down to finding a unique name for even just songs and bands.
I mean, you guys have a lot of awesome names for your songs, and the
do you
album
have like placeholder names for before you finalize a name? Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's the funniest one you have, and which one is it?
Yeah, that was smart. So I will say a lot of the really good names come from this guy right here, DJ. He is incredible with words. Even sometimes when I'm writing lyrics, like I'll hit him up or he'll come over to like help me just come up with cool sounding words because he just has a gift. But yeah, we always have some just ridiculous working titles, like Martyrless, the song that we did the music video for. That was called Schlong Way Home, but I couldn't spell, so I forgot the H, so it was just Sklong Way Home.
Sklong Way Home.
So yeah, for a while we were just like, yeah, let's play Schlong. Kingdom of Scorn was called Tony Spicone.
Tony.
I don't know why.
Oh.
It was just kind of like a mobster name that was like
From
kind of
Brooklyn.
funny. I was just like, all right. So yeah, there's every once in a while, like Blasphemian Rhapsody, we had that song title before we ever wrote the song.
Oh,
like, I feel like the
that's
song
probably
title
my
very much
favorite.
inspired.
That's one of my
That's
favorites.
one of my favorites too.
In the album.
Yeah, that song was a ton of fun to make, and like that was prime Justin ripping on guitar.
Ooh,
like all
yeah.
those guitar riffs were written by Justin. I was just sitting behind the computer, just getting my mind blown by the stuff he was playing.
I love
So
how you
good,
guys are
so
like
good.
experimenting with different types of genres inside your music too. Like not just from Blasphemian, but like there's a few on other ones that has that kind of old Western type of like approach to it, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is just like our collective Between the Buried and Me influence coming out. Like that band was huge for all of us, and I remember hearing the album Colors for the first time. DJ made me watch the like live, not documentary, but like the live DVD of the show, and. Well, I say made me because he tried to get me to watch it multiple times, and I was like, no, I don't care about that band, because all I'd ever heard of that band was a cover they did of Cemetery Gates way back in the day, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not vibing with this. But then turns out now they're like one of my favorite bands of all time. But yeah, we all love that band, and so I guess it's kind of our way to pay tribute to kind of some of the doors they opened for us musically, is like carrying on that legacy. I know Dream Theater did it a ton too.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of bands over the years that have done that really well, and it's something I've always been a fan of, and I think the other guys have been a fan of as well.
Just to add to that a little bit, so obviously we played around with some different genres and textures on the last album. Something I feel like we did better this time around is trying to be a little bit more true to that actual genre, rather than a metal band doing like a Western part, a metal band doing a, you know, whatever type of part. We really tried to dial in like that, playing it how it should be done. I mean, even that Western part there, we were almost done with everything for the album, and we're listening back to it, and Adam's like, can I just re-record that guitar? He's like, I've learned a lot more about like that style, and he's like, I know I can do it a lot more justice. And he went back, and sure as shit, it sounds so much better.
Yeah. No, like you definitely want to captivate that essence of what that style is, you know.
Yeah, I think we kind of dipped our toe in that whole, you know, messing around with other genres thing with the last record. And then this album, we were like, all right, let's full ass this. So it was very much like these parts need vocals and these parts need like, you know, more like orchestral work and stuff. And like, I don't know, I listened to a lot of bluegrass this year, which is very new for me. I know Justin's been listening to bluegrass well before I have. Shout out Billy Strings, that dude's killing it. But it's a really cool genre, and like, not that that's a bluegrass part by any means, but that's kind of the whole guitar part very much has that like boom chuck, like kind of bluegrass rhythm style. And yeah, it was just because I'd listened to a lot more of it, I was just like, oh, I understand it a lot more. So that's one thing about this band that is just always kind of evolving. It's just the ability to like hold ourselves accountable. It's like, all right, this could be better, let's make it better. And that's something that I hope we never change.
Yeah, it's good. You know, even the bluegrass, you know, stylistically, the banjo technicality of being able to play it, it's really intricate when it comes down to
Absolutely.
it. You know, like not a lot of people give it some credit, but like just when you really pick up a banjo and try to play it, or just see someone play it, they're flying.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think bluegrass is more similar to metal than a lot of people would ever assume, because they kind of sit on polar opposite ends of the spectrum. Like one's in like the country western kind of world, and obviously one's like extreme and dark and all that. But like, I feel like when it comes to the musicality and the actual like musicianship that goes into it, like they're from very similar worlds, along with like classical music, same kind of thing, where it's just like trying to push the envelope as far as you possibly can with like the musicianship. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for bluegrass guys, and I'm very glad that I was able to kind of take a deep dive down some of that older stuff, because there's some incredible musicians in that genre even to this day.
Bluegrass, green grass, like
all kinds of grass.
All kinds of grass. We're all thumbs up.
I agree. I think it's better to explore on different genres and see and play with it and see what colors you come up with, you know? Green, blue, purple, any kind.
Purple grass.
That works.
That's the next one.
It worked. It worked for you guys in the style. I mean, like I said, we were listening to the album. We're like, wow, they really they went in and just did all these things that in the last album, it was like you guys, like you said, it was certain things that you implemented in this one, and you're like, let's go balls deep, let's really do it and get comfortable with it. And then I love how you said you wanted to go back in and re-record things because you felt like you honed it better now to do a different, like more a recorded part that you thought that you knew better now to do it better. You know, that's really cool that you actually went in and did that.
Yeah, trying to be authentic in really everything that we do, not even just the music, our live performances, things like this. Like we try to be really authentic. What you see is what you get, unfortunately. This is it.
And people see it. They see it, and they see when someone really enjoys what they're playing and they get into it. So I love that. I love seeing that live too. And what do you, now that you're playing live together and Jackie's back, right? Have you seen anything different this time around that you're playing these new songs with your following?
Control yourself.
Oh wow. Yourself. I am always in control. All right, so let me talk about this. No, the thing I've noticed is we've just been truthfully more cohesive as a whole unit live. We're all really locked in. Like I was making the joke during our practice today. For witches, they all use drop pedal to bring them down to the tuning they need to be in. And I always I look at them and I'm like, drop your pants. Like, you know, that's our little code word. And I never have to worry about Jackie. His pants are dropped. He's assumed the position.
Oh no, helicopter.
Yeah. That's how it starts every time. But no, it's just there's a level of trust between all of us that we're gonna be where we need to be. We're gonna be ready to go. And, like, you're gonna nail your parts. It doesn't always turn out that way. Apparently, I get overzealous and it throws Justin off sometimes. But I get very excited. I love to hear him play guitar. I'm sorry, sue me.
Aw.
Don't sue me. I can't afford it.
I feel like, to add to that, I feel like we have a better connection with the audience now, more so than ever. Like, it just feels like we're really kind of turning a corner on things. And we just recently had that album release show you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And like, it was a little nerve-wracking, I think. And like, I don't know, when you're in a metal band, you're always supposed to be like, everything's awesome and we're the greatest and whatever. But like, no, real life, like, I was very anxious about that show. And because we, for the most part, whenever we play in town, we open for like a bigger band. Like, that's always our goal, is like, let's try to hop on these like national shows and, you know, play with those crowds. We don't play a lot of like headliner shows. So this is our first headliner show in years, I would say. And so we were like, oh man, like, is there going to be like 15 people there? But like, no, it was incredible. Like, we sold like almost 100 tickets to it. The crowd was unbelievable. People were like singing the words to our songs.
Oh,
And,
wow.
like, we had like a line at our merch
That's
table,
the
which was just
best.
unreal. So shout out to Wichita metal scene. Like,
Wichita,
love.
yeah,
wow.
it's taken a while, I think, but we have a connection with this city that I didn't know that we had, and I'm very, very grateful for it.
Is there a lot of bands in Wichita and around your area that are doing the same type of music as you?
No, I don't really think so. There's a couple other death metal bands around here. There's some death metal bands around here that are quite a bit heavier than us too. But there's not really anybody doing the progressive kind of thing for the most part, which is like good and bad, right? Like, it's nice to be able to be like the only one doing a certain type of thing, but it's also like, you know, we don't really have like another band where we're like, oh, we do the exact same thing, we can get advice or we can talk through ideas or anything like that. But there are a couple of bands here in town that we're like really, really close with. For this album release show specifically, we actually brought in some friends that we made in Colorado. So shout out to the band Triune. Absolute great group of dudes. Killer musicians. Like, one of the best bands that I think we've ever played with. And then there's a band in town as well. Not really like a death metal band, actually not a death metal band at all. I don't know why I was trying to say not really. They're called Atria. They're kind of like more of a like very melodic, like metalcore with a lot of pop sensibility, like incredible songwriters with an absolutely unbelievable vocalist leading that band. So it was like, we wanted to bring another death metal band in, but we also wanted to just bring some friends in. And it was super, super cool. Like, I really I don't know about the other guys, we haven't talked about it a bunch, but I look forward to doing more like mixed genre kind of stuff with bands that aren't, you know, super, super heavy all the time, because it was just cool to just hang with those guys. And, you know, like, I walked away inspired, especially from their vocalists. Like, unbelievable singer.
It was fantastic. Actually, you know what? You touched on it earlier, just inadvertently. When we're talking about the peanut butter and jelly, tuna and lamb. Where's the bread? The friends we made along the way.
Oh, there you go.
That is the truth of it. Like, good, you know, friends before just like fellow musicians, fantastic people. The kind of people you want to play shows with, because they just bring positivity to everything that they're doing. Their interactions with not just your fans, their fans, people who are just there because there's a show going on, they want to check it out. Like, just really positive vibes all the way around. And we love that. You don't need negativity, period, in general.
I gotta say,
enough
that's
of that
really true.
everywhere else in the world. Like, no room for it in music, that's for sure.
I'm glad to hear that it's like that over there, because in a lot of big cities, I'm always trying to like scout and look for bands, not only for, you know, the networking purpose that I want to put a spotlight on them and network and see who can we open up for, or who can, and it's like weird. I didn't know that it was like that in my own city, but then I started talking to other bands and they're like, yeah, it's pretty competitive and and being a female and all this. And I was like, ew, really? I was like, I don't feel that way. I feel like it depends on how you present yourself and how you carry yourself. And I mean, I've made some pretty cool, connections and people that, I would hope that we can make friendships and collaborations together. But it's also like finding those people in your hometown is so key to really expanding. And then you get a scene, right? There's like a nice scene in certain areas. In New York, it's very different. The scene is for rock and metal is kind of like, it's shocking. I'm always saying, I'm like, we got to bring that shit back because it's not dominated here. But I'm starting to see it's starting to happen slowly. But yes, surely I feel like rock, metal, progressive metal is coming back. And it's funny because I gotta mention this. Sleep Token became like one of the most popular bands in the Billboard, and everybody was like, wait, what? But they have a lot of genre mixing. I don't know how you feel about Sleep Token. Have you guys like been on the Sleep, because we've been mentioning them a lot in the past 2 years and seeing them grow.
They're all looking at each other laughing like, I don't
know.
No.
I will say I respect what they're doing for the scene for sure. I think they're getting people. So there's the concept, and Justin and I have talked about this at all, of like gateway songs, gateway bands, things like that. I feel like they're a really good example of that, like a gateway band that can kind of pull people from outside of metal into metal. Mm-hmm. They're not my personal cup of tea. Like I don't like go listen to Sleep Token albums. I haven't even heard the new record, but I will say, like, as far as what they're doing for metal as a whole, like I've got nothing but respect. Same thing for bands like Bring Me the Horizon. Like they've made some music that I've not been stoked on. They've made some music that I have been stoked on, but you can't deny what they've done for metal and like the fact that they're like making metal a name brand kind of thing. And I know, yeah, and like there's definitely, especially because we're part of death metal, there are some people in the death metal world that are very much like, no, it needs to stay underground, and like anything that makes it,
Chris Barnes and Candle Corpse with
exactly.
Just that's it.
There's a lot of gatekeeping going on. But I mean, I don't think anybody in this band's really like that at all. Like Justin mentioned, he listens to all kinds of music. I think we all really do. We go through extended periods where we're probably not listening to a lot of modern metal. Jack never listens to modern metal. He doesn't even know what modern metal is. He's like, wait, like Pantera? Is that what you're talking about? No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, like, I think anything, like I have a philosophy that a rising tide lifts all ships. So yes. I think down to the smallest level or the biggest level, something that is good for like metal in general is good for everybody. If a local band in your city is doing really, really well and they're having a lot of success, that's great because that's shining a spotlight on your scene. And I think there's too many people out there that take it as like a threat, or they think that somebody's like taking food off their table, but it's quite the opposite. Like I think it's good for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're not competing with anybody other than ourselves. Like when you look in the mirror, that's the only person you're competing with. And we take that mindset into every show. Like we're there to make friends, have a good time, put on a good show. If somebody else wanted to come up and start beef, like they can,
they're in trouble.
They can lick our butthole. Like we're not there. We're not there for that kind of stuff.
No one's taken him up on that offer yet either. Like he keeps telling everyone who tries to start a fight with him, he's just like, lick my butthole, and they're like, yeah.
No, I mean that's how he knows he won the fight, because they're not willing to lick his butthole.
Because they know.
Yeah, but if they did though, they would be the clear victor.
Oh
no. Yeah. I'd have to recover after that one. I'd need a few days.
Oh man. Yeah, so we're a little over a halfway mark. We're about an hour 13 in.
We gotta showcase the new video too.
If you're watching this and listening to this, let us know that you made it this far with a thumbs up in the chat and the comments. Otherwise, we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna talk about your music video that you've created. That's a fun video. From, was it How do you say that damn name?
Martyrless.
Martyrless.
Yeah.
So, how did that, like the concept of that come about? Like, and who's like,
how many days
scenario?
Did it take?
Like,
how many days did it take?
Build that scenario of like.
So I think first and foremost, we owe a huge shout out and just debt of gratitude to Daniel Murphy from Daniel Scott Films. He is absolutely incredible, and his attention to detail when it comes to making any kind of video, photo, anything that he's a part of is just absolutely like unbelievable. He's been a really good friend of the band for a long time. We actually met him because, and this is something he still does to this day, he'll just show up to random local shows and just take insanely high quality photos of the band playing just with the hope to meet them, and then he sends them the file for free, and it's like, use these photos however you want.
I love
so that's
that.
just kind of the kind of person he is. But if without him, this video would be nothing like the way it is. He went above and beyond. He was all about like the practical effects side of things, and there were some things that we tried to do that were maybe a little too ambitious that didn't work out with like practical effects, especially. Justin was supposed to have like a prosthetic eye that like, you know, got stabbed or whatever, and like there were certain things that I think we maybe pushed the envelope a little too far on, but like that's exactly what, you know, I think you have to do. I think you have to kind of see where the limits are, and his ability to bounce back when things didn't work out was incredible. There's the spot where my kill happens, I guess. I won't spoil it if anyone hasn't seen it yet, but we had a plan for how that practical effect thing was going to happen. We tried to shoot it twice that way. It didn't work. I thought that because of the amount of fake blood that was all over me, that it was going to be impossible to make it work, and he still found a way to like make it work, make it look good. So we owe him the world. But as far as like how it all came about, I think it's just kind of a collective like love letter really to like horror films. We're all huge horror fans of, you know, like all different eras. And
the 80s.
Yeah, the 80s especially. I think it's something we all kind of come together on, is that like almost cheesy but like, you know, very practical effects driven kind of stuff is just like, that's our bread and butter. So we just wanted to kind of pay tribute to the things that really probably molded us to the hooligans that we are to this day.
Hooligans.
And where was that filmed?
Yeah, I don't know. It was some little podunk town in Kansas, Durham, and it was an Airbnb. And like, funny story about that, we rent this Airbnb, and we're not telling the guy what we're doing.
We're gonna murder people.
Yeah.
What?
And so later on, he like messages Adam, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I've had a lot of issues with people in the past, so I have cameras everywhere, and I just wanted to make you aware of that." So then we're all debating like, "Holy shit, he's gonna see us like doing the thing. Should we tell him?" Long story short, we told him, and he was actually cool with it. He actually like came out while we were recording, and was like checking shit out. It was pretty cool.
He became a fan. Yeah. He was like, "Oh, I like."
Just don't damage anything.
Just don't axe anyone. Don't axe the walls.
Shout out to that Airbnb guy, whatever his name was.
He was cool.
He was. He was, yeah. And you know, we appreciated that. And while we would have done it anyway,
just put tape over the cameras.
We've thought of that too. I was like, we should just get an Airbnb somewhere. Like, we went upstate. When we went upstate, it's like, you know, we're city people. So when we went over there, I was like, you know, we should do like some like forest running clips and shit, and just make it look really like, you know, different.
Yeah, for the Unawake.
For the Unawake
single
video, Adam.
So we're about 80% of the way edited in there. So we'll send you a little bit of a clip so you can get yours in.
And it was raining. It was raining. And I remember there was rain, there was fog. And then I was like, you know what would be cool? If Adam just sends us like a righteous clip of him just shredding in the woods. I'm like, he's in Kansas. I'm sure he has his backyard. He could just go. But it would go so perfectly with the whole scene that we had there. Because we were in the middle of nowhere, upstate New York. And it worked out.
Farmland.
We did the same thing with the guy
in the park, that tree barn archway. Sorry,
he's already visualizing it.
It was literally like a barn area where we went, and there was horses. Yeah. It was so nice, and it was just a vibe. So I was like, I think it will work if we ask Adam, because he's in Kansas. I mean, come on, like, it's gonna work, right? And then the guy I did the collab with that lives in London, he did something like that with Splinter. If you haven't seen that video, he did it somewhere in like a a shore, like with a beach, and then we did it on a beach shore, and then we put it together. He's in London, we're in New York, and it worked. And somehow the collab works. I was like, this is gonna work.
It's
too.
funny because like we never actually told him
cool.
anything like where we're filming and how we're filming it. It just turned out that he did the same kind of like visual aesthetic as we did.
I told his girlfriend,
and it worked out.
Awesome.
I told his girlfriend, I'm like, this is what we're planning to do. So she knew the assignment.
Yeah.
It worked out. It worked out. So it's gonna be good. But yeah, you just gotta be creative. And the Airbnb thing, that was something that like, let's go to like a haunted looking house. So that works. I feel like that house did have that vibe, like that old 80s, like the rustic look of it all and everything. It looked good.
Yeah, it was perfect.
We're gonna show it. We gotta show it.
Can we show it?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're gonna show the whole video.
Do it.
All right, I got
It's
your permission.
short.
Okay, get this on the screen here.
And how long did it take? Was it a 1-day shoot?
Yeah, it was like 15, 16 hours.
Wow.
We recorded the actual live, like the playthrough performance parts at about 2 a.m.
Yep.
I believe you.
So, and it was like negative 50 degrees. It was cold.
Negative 50.
Wow. All right, Parthian guys. What brand is that? Marble Menthols or Marble? I love your Saved by the Bell shirt.
We loved it too.
Is that in the attic?
It's just an upstairs room.
Look at Adam. Look at Adam's outfit.
You're like Jay and Silent Bob over there.
Axl Rose.
Axl Rose.
I thought you were gonna lick the blood at one point. I was like, is he gonna lick it?
Just ketchup. That was a good slice. The angle.
I actually hit him in the throat.
Jeez.
scary. That's a scary mask, too. Who was it the whole time? It was Jack.
The cannibal.
When I saw this the first time, I was like, oh. It was a full moon perfect.
So good.
Yeah, I had mentioned it a couple days before we went out there. I'm like, the full moon's going to be that night. I'd love to get some kind of shot with it.
Hell
I told
yeah.
Daniel. The problem was the clouds set in, and it was so cloudy almost that entire day. And then we'd finished the performance shot, so it was probably after 2 a.m.
We're sitting out there smoking a ciggy.
Yeah, we went out for some ciggies, and I looked up. I'm like, oh shit, the
There's the
moon!
shot.
And Daniel, I was like, bro, I need you to, and he's like, I'm on it. we got some. He framed that really well.
And like right after that scene, there were no more clouds that came by at all. Because he tried to get some other ones too. It was literally just like he got it perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
A fun little fact about that video: the scene where Justin leans down to pick up my bloody cigarette. Right as he leans down, the front of his pants rip.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you look that scene where we're all like searching the room to find stuff, you can actually see he has different colored pants on right there.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Wait.
Well,
So
and,
if you
and to add
notice.
to that, I feel like it was just like a long day. There were already things that weren't going right and everything like that. And Justin just needed a break after that happened. He's like, I'm good. And we saw it a little bit to film. DJ actually put his jacket on, and the scene where he's like laying down by the car, that was actually DJ with Justin's like clothes on.
Oh wow.
So there's a little teaser there, or like a little nod to that in the credits. It says "Stand in for Mr. Ronk," DJ Dixon.
My pants are ripped, and our director Daniel's just like, "Come on, man, let's do 4 more scenes." I'm like, "Fuck you, Daniel."
Yeah, he's like,
"Change
"No."
my pants."
He's like, "I'm done."
Let me see if I can.
I'll rip my
You can
pants.
see that in this video. The pants change.
You can see him rip right here.
Right here.
Oh, there it
There's
is.
the rip. And when we're in the house searching for shit, you can see he has different colored pants on. So rewind it.
Yeah, it's like one of the first.
When we first break in.
Yeah.
I'm
Smooth.
telling, Jackie looks like a full-on actor with that haircut and everything.
He did great. Like
Yeah.
none of us knew he had acting chops, and he just killed it.
A natural.
Wait, was that? Did we miss that?
So right. No, the next. See, I think he has black on now.
And that
Oh, there it
wig,
is. Yeah,
though.
yeah, that was it.
With slacks.
Also, shout out to our homie Tanner in the chat. We see you there. What up, my guy?
What's up?
What's up,
Downloadable Jexus.
Don't break my immersions.
Yeah, right.
We're
Ruining the video.
really wants to kill the rest of you. It was natural. And yeah, the scene where Justin just kind of turns into the knife. Like you can see, like he turns and he leans forward into the knife.
So
Yeah, I need to work on my acting chops a little bit. I'm not as much of a natural as Jack over here, apparently.
he's not a natural. He's a natural born guitar player, but eventually at some point we do have some behind the scenes footage of that we're putting together. We'll put a little something out at some point. Not a plug for that, but you will get to see the kill of Justin and the multiple takes that it took, because he kept freezing, like doing a death face before he would get stabbed, like he was anticipating the death.
Wow.
Too soon.
To be fair though, that scene right there, I wasn't using the knife. Like Daniel found this railroad spike, so it wasn't a rubber knife anymore. This was like a legitimate metal railroad spike.
Wow.
And he was wanting me to get within like half an inch of his eye to make it look real. So I was so nervous the whole time about like actually shanking his eye out.
Yeah, that one.
And
I
then
did
you've
see
got
the
Adam
prosthetic
crouched down.
pictures too, where you had the prosthetic and the makeup. It looked really real.
It was
on Instagram.
Yeah. That scene didn't make it into the actual video. It fell off as we were shooting it.
It did, but
didn't have the right adhesive.
Shout out to the Parthian wives though, who spent a ton of time putting that together.
I didn't look out of my left eye for like 2 hours.
Yeah. They didn't even use it.
I just had this gloop on it.
Would you use spirit glue or?
Oh, what was it? It was like some concoction they made.
I think we forgot the glue is the problem that we were supposed to use. We were going to use like costume glue.
I think it was eyelash.
Yeah, we forgot it. So then one of the girls had eyelash glue for like fake eyelashes or whatever, and they were trying to stick it on with that, and it was just not staying.
Wow.
For next time.
It was fun.
At least you didn't put like super glue or anything.
Yeah.
No, but we did use. So we didn't think about the kind of tape for the machete through my chest, and so we used gaffer's tape. That's all we had on hand, and it was wrapped around my chest hair, around my nipples.
Ooh, wax.
And it was yeah. There's some behind the scenes footage of me taking that off.
Oh, you gotta post that.
Screaming at the top of your lungs.
Legend has it that he still looks like a man-o'-lantern to this day.
You gotta post those behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, we will.
You know what? I'll just admit it. That's my fault. That stuff is on my wife's phone, and every time we talk about it, I forget to send it to DJ.
That's so good.
You gotta get those clips out too. With your pictures, when you get, these shows, like I saw the pictures that you posted, beautiful pictures, awesome photography. Do you get, I noticed there's not a lot of footage of the live shows, which I think would be really beneficial for, reels and things like that, to get your stuff out there, because reels are really big now, especially if you have little clips of the show. Like, do you have someone that you have in mind to do those kind of clips, or like your photographer that you use all the time?
Actually, perfect timing, because we just released some live footage on the YouTube today.
Oh,
what?
Wow.
Yeah.
Finally.
So we don't normally have a lot of live footage because, and I'll take the blame on this one, I am a picky bitch. So if it doesn't look perfect and it doesn't sound perfect, like, I will not post it. So luckily this one, we just replaced the audio with the actual track. But the video looked unbelievable. We were gonna try and do something with the live audio. It just didn't end up working out. Like getting it to, I guess, our standards, my standards, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we do want to do more like live footage stuff. It's just been a matter of like, we don't always have like a videographer on site.
That.
Luckily for the album release show, we had Daniel, who did the music video, doing video. We had this awesome photographer named Isaiah Eldridge, and then there was actually, I believe her name's Alexandra Simone. She was just at the show, and she's been to one of our shows before, and she just took some really professional photos as well and just gifted those to us. So
nice.
we had two different photographers and a videographer this time, so we actually had some good like content from this
I love seeing that.
Yeah, because we were like searching for content, because like on our intro video we have like the guest's name and video presence. So I'm like, shit, like I normally put some live footage behind their images, but they don't have anything for me to work on. So I had to cut the clips out from your music video, and I'm like, this works.
It's there. It's there now.
It is there now.
Yeah, I needed it yesterday.
I love it. So, who produced this album? Was it the same producer from the last album?
So it was self-produced actually this time. We did have a drum engineer track the drums, and then as far as like guitar and bass and like all the orchestral stuff, that was all just done at my house, which is why it probably took so long.
You mixed and mastered it at home?
So we didn't mix it. We just produced it and engineered a lot of the stuff ourselves. But Scott Spriggs, the guy that mixed and produced the last record, did all the mixing on this one. And then little known guy named Jens Bogren, one of the most legendary metal mixers and masters. He actually mastered it for us. So you have those two guys to thank for why it sounds so good, and me to thank for why it took so long.
Yeah, it sounds amazing, superb. I think it came out really amazing. Which is another one, the second one that I love the most. That's what is there a song that you guys feel like is your the funnest song out of the album that you both all of you guys like to play the most live?
I think Blasphemy and Rhapsody is easily the funnest song. It's the riskiest song, just starting off with a minute and a half of just clean singing and almost no guitars at all. That's something I never thought we would do in this band, but luckily I'm surrounded by fearless musicians in this band. So I had a little bit of an idea, and they were, more than happy to kind of jump on board. And I think that's the beauty of this band is to, something that DJ said earlier, we do exactly what we want to do. So we like a lot of styles outside of metal. So we're going to make whatever music kind of comes out. It's just a culmination of all of the influences, all of the, things that we like, and just trying to kind of represent ourselves just exactly what we are, which is just musicians. We just make music that we think sounds good and kind of scratches that itch. Exactly.
And what are the instruments that you guys are playing this time around on stage? Is it the same, or has anything changed?
It's all pretty much the same.
We just add more vocals now. For live stuff, him and I try and take care of some of the backup to help his voice live,
Yeah, for sure. Then that's been awesome. Justin has an insanely awesome black metal shrieky high scream. So we've been throwing that in a ton. At the beginning of Viscera of Eternal Damnation, there's a trade-off between a high scream and a low scream. That's actually me and Justin just going back and forth. And then Jack, we kind of it was near the tail end of making the record, he started practicing vocals a ton, and he's got this really badass sounding low guttural scream.
Oh, nice.
So the part, this is the most legendary lyric on the whole record. Skull fuck the priest and his flock in Blasphemy and Rhapsody. That was actually Jack's voice on that one. That was the debut of his voice. So
I wonder
he does more than that live, but having these guys in the studio just for the different textures and stuff of their voices, but then B, like he said, it's been a huge help live having multiple vocalists on the stage. We've been able to incorporate vocal harmony.
We weren't sure who was singing what parts, because we were hearing the different variety of the growls and the screams, right?
And I mentioned
and
it
then,
too.
Yeah, and we're that's not all Adam. There's did they have a collaboration with someone else?
That was Jackie.
Yeah, it was just whoever's voice kind of suited the part the best. And DJ actually just reminded me, he has a vocal on the record too. There's in Kingdom of Scorn, there's this goblin-y laugh that happens right as it's switching over to the circus part.
Oh yeah, I heard
he
that.
He actually did the goblin-y laugh. We pitched it up with a plug-in and made it sound all nasty. So everyone got vocals on the record this time around.
Oh man, that's the dream. My dream is to find a guitarist that is very growly and deep, has a deep voice to it. And and he's I gotta practice my vocals.
Yeah, I gotta practice my vocals.
But his is kind of on the high.
I have the Muppet nasally voice.
We could use it
drumming
somewhere.
And doing vocals, if you can pull that off, that is awesome. That's so incredible.
If Mike Portnoy can do it, I can do it. Practice. Yeah.
Oh, I love it, guys. I love that everybody has a voice in there too.
I want to ask, when you did the music video and you were playing in that tiny room with the drums, and was everything wasn't plugged in, was it? Are you actually playing that live?
No.
Or
we didn't bring any amps with us or anything, and actually we were hoping that we would have multiple pairs of headphones, in-ear monitors, and I'd be able to hear the track.
Yeah.
The videographer was going to be able to hear the track, and we forgot the cable.
Oh no.
So yeah, DJ forgot the cable, and so DJ was actually the only one that could hear the song. And luckily, we've been playing Martyrless live for probably close to 2 years now, I would say. We've had this record written for a long time. There was just a lot of changes and things, life got in the way, and the benefit of it is like a few of these songs were like insanely rehearsed because we just been kind of testing them out live.
It was a second nature type thing. Like you hear the drums, you know where the parts are, you just kind of go with
exactly, and that's how we play live too. DJ's the only one who plays to a click live. And then we just play to DJ because we're not fancy enough to have in-ear monitors.
It works out fine. Every song starts with Adam's sultry voice. He gives me the name of the song, and then he counts me in.
How would you do that?
I kind of fucked with him this time. So basically, his tracks that he's hearing in his ear are what we call scratch guitar, which is, in this case, it's the guitar from the album, but just isolated. So it's like the rhythm guitar tracks and some of the leads, so that he can kind of know where he's at in the song type of thing. So he's playing to that, as well as a click. And then I just recorded like a introduction to the song, so he would, like, if he hit play, he'd know which song was playing, and then he'd hear like me say 1 2 3 4, and then the next 1 2 3 4 is where he actually counts it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I kind of fucked with him on this one, and I did like a different character voice for each one. So like for like Kingdom of Scorn, I was like, Kingdom of Scorn. He hadn't heard this before, like the first practice we did it, so he just starts laughing. These two dudes had no clue what was going on, and I knew exactly what he was hearing. And so, I don't know, it's just kind of funny. It's
love that.
I love the fact that he has to hear my fucking goofy ass voice every fucking night we play live.
That's hilarious.
And then you look back and you kind of see him just like kind of smirking, like laughing.
Yeah, it gets me every time. Something fun about that music video as well, the room that we did the performance shots in. What you don't see is before we lugged all those drums and everything up there, we moved what was arguably like a 300-400 pound king size bed and frame because it was in that corner where the drums ended up. So we picked it up and we moved it. And so essentially, like, if you were to flip the camera from looking at us looking the other way, it's just Daniel like crammed in a corner, basically filming us because that bed took up most of the room.
The bed is on the wall.
He jumped up on the bed. Yeah. Like he worked hard. He worked really hard for us.
Homeowners probably like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
Right.
It's a good thing you guys
Well, and there was like, it was on a farm, so it was like relatively isolated, but like there was a couple other houses nearby, and like, kid you not, we were doing this at like 2 in the morning, and DJ was playing full blast drums because you got to make it look right.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can't like kind of fake it. So he was like actually blasting drums at 2 in the morning, and we were just like hoping to get done fast enough that no one showed up and, you know, told us to shut it down.
Jack or Justin go outside and be like, is it loud enough?
Oh yeah, three or 4 times. Yeah, we played through the song. The first time, I don't even know how it happened. I'm gonna say Jack, but it's not his fault. He had fastened the side rack on my drums where my ride and China are, and like a third of the way through the song, it just falls right off, hits the ground. So luckily Daniel, like the footage he used from the first playthrough, like cuts around that. But yeah, there's a half a song there where I just had no ride and no China.
That's rough.
It was a very long day. We got there, I want to say at like 10, 11 in the morning, and it was like, what, an hour drive, maybe a little more. So we got there not super early in the morning. We got there in the morning.
I got there for
yeah, we got there early for metal guys time. And yeah, like it was literally nonstop all day, setting up, shooting, moving different locations, shooting.
You shot in one day?
And we didn't get done till probably 3-ish in the morning, something like that, and then had to get up super early the next morning to like get everything packed up and get out of there, like while we still had time to not get charged for another day. So it was a lot, but it was very worth it. Like, I think it turned out great, and like I said, shout out again to Daniel. I mean, that guy's incredible, and if it wasn't for his drive and his passion, it wouldn't have turned out the way it did.
Turned out to be a great team effort because everyone had a part, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak on Daniel's behalf, but he's basically like the unofficial 5th or 6th member of this band at this point, along with Scott, the mixer that we work with. Like, they gel so well with us, and like I feel like they just help us out a ton and like help bring the vision to life in a way that nobody else could.
6th and 7th. Technically, we still have a keyboard player that we have yet to kick out. It's been 9 years, but He never shows up for practice.
It's kind of an inside joke. So when we first started the band, I had a friend that it was just back to the whole like good hang is more important than like anything else. Just good dude. I still see him out and about all the time. Shout out to Josh Gom, great dude. But he had just gotten like a keyboard for Christmas or something, and we're like, dude, you should just come play keys in the band, like just for the sake of having you in the band. And he showed up to one practice and brought his keyboard, set it up and everything like that. We start like counting into the first song, and this look of panic just goes across his face. And we get done with the song, and he's like, dude, I actually don't know how to play this thing at all. And we're like, all right, this is not gonna work. But yeah, now every time we see him, we just mess with him. We're just like, dude, it's the keyboard from Parthian.
Like the Phantom of the Opera. He's somewhere in the sides, but he doesn't really come
behind
to
the
practice.
scenes.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a nice Easter egg because he did do a little backing vocals on our very first EP, and then he was in the music video for Numinous off the last album. So we have to sprinkle him in somewhere.
Yep. He's always there lurking somewhere.
He's like the old guitar player in A Day to Remember. How he just randomly shows up in their music videos, even though he hasn't been in the band for like 10 years.
I gotta mention also, how did you get the Soulfly gig?
We've got I don't know how we're so lucky to have such like good friends and supporters of the band, but there's a production company here in Wichita called 1% Productions. Shout out to Ryan McFarland. He's absolutely incredible, and he is always helping us out, getting us on as many gigs as we possibly can. Like when I mentioned that we try to just mainly play like national openers here in Wichita, he's the reason that we're able to make that work. So I mean, we've played with Miss May I, that was because of him. Obviously the Soulfly show, he's the one that got us that I Hate God show. We're working with him. We can't announce what it is yet, but we're working with him on another one right now that could potentially be a pretty big one for us. So we've gotten to play with some of our heroes and idols over the years, and it's all thanks to him. So shout out to that guy.
Yeah. I mean, when I heard Lorna Shore with Will Ramos, I was like, oh, this Lorna Shore band's sick. I don't know why I've never heard of them before. And Adam's like, dude, we've played with them twice. And I was like, oh, okay. And
we played with Ice Nine Kills before anyone knew who Ice Nine Kills was.
Wow.
That was kind of cool.
So what is your dream band that you would love to open up for in the future?
I'm sure the answer is different for all of us, but
Viagra Boys.
Yeah, Justin says
Viagra
Boys. Honestly, like, if like genre boundaries weren't like any kind of a thing.
Is it Kanye?
No, it's not. It's not Kanye. Oh, that's one thing I should have been like, yeah, don't mention Kanye West on this podcast.
Oh, no.
For those of you who didn't catch the last podcast, I got entirely drunk and went on a fucking Kanye West rant, and then that dude's life completely fell apart, and now he's a fucking total piece of shit. Fuck that guy. Still makes good music, though. Well, not still. His old music's good. I haven't heard anything since Vultures 2. But up until Vultures 2, it was fine. Yeah, we're going on another Kanye rant. Here we go. Strap in. But no, it would probably be somebody like Kendrick Lamar or like Dua Lipa, like a pop star. Like, I don't know. I listen to all kinds of stuff, and like I would love to be on like an arena stage. That'd be insane. But for me, I'm gonna say metal-wise, it goes back to when I was 13 years old and kind of started really getting past like the Metallica, Pantera side of things and getting more into modern metal. Avenged Sevenfold would be my dream to play with that band.
I can see that. I can totally see that.
Yeah. I mean, that is the problem with Adam and I, is that at some fundamental level, we're kind of the same person. Because Avenged Sevenfold is the obvious answer for me as well. Although a close second would be Trivium. Bullet dropped off of the Rest of the World tour. If they just want to plug us in, like, we'll even play Bullet, I guess. Songs, we can play some of our own songs too. But
I think the only problem with that, and this is kind of a funny story, is I think Matt Hafey thinks we're from New Zealand. So we got put on Sirius XM at one point, our song Numinous, and it was Matt Hafey that did that as part of his Chaos Hour. And it was awesome. But the two bands that he played before us were both from New Zealand. And he's like, here's another New Zealand band, Parthian. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Matt, if you're watching, we're not from New Zealand. We're from Kansas.
Just in case.
We can head down. Yeah, we can head down to the that hangar you guys got going on at any point. If you just want to do another hangar banger.
I'll switch it up though, because I am very different musical taste than these guys. And if I had a dream one to pick, I'd say Heavy Devi, man. Devin Townsend would be awesome to.
He retired.
Did he really?
No, we just saw them last year.
Maybe not retired. He just said he's not playing live shows indefinitely.
Okay.
Really?
That's
Really?
retired.
So we were really
Well,
lucky.
I missed my chance.
I know they played in New York not too long ago, like maybe like a month or two ago. Because I saw a post from Darby.
Yeah. When we went to UK, we were hanging out with him.
Yeah.
Like, casually.
Yeah. So I don't know. I gotta
That's
check.
awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was really nice.
Yeah, we were hanging out with Darby. Interesting guy.
Yeah.
He's fun. He's fun to talk to.
We've all got people like that. Justin.
This is a hard one.
Viagra Boys.
Viagra Boys.
It would be Billy Strings, 100%. Billy Strings. So he's, we mentioned him previously. He's an insane bluegrass singer and guitar player, like one of the best flat pickers I've heard. But he also loves metal music and underground bands. My cousin-in-law so he went to a show, Billy Strings show in Seattle, and he's like, it was the weirdest thing ever. There were two like death metal bands, and then Billy Strings sets up and it's bluegrass, and then the final band was like back to metal, and so like that's actually when he was like 18 years old. He was in like a deathcore band, and then he just decided after that, like, fuck it, I'm gonna go back to bluegrass. But he's like, yeah, I think that he'd just be cool to shoot the shit with.
Could we do I love that pick, by the way. Could we do a nice segue show where it's us, the Native Howl, and then Billy Strings? I feel like, because then you get that thrash in the middle. No, Viagra Boys can go perform out in the parking lot.
No, you don't do that to them.
They get the side stage. They don't get the main stage.
Yeah, they get the side stage, which is actually just the bathroom.
Jackie has to say a second band if that's true about Devin Townsend. Like, what's a second voice?
A second?
Oh,
yeah.
I know which one.
Biggie.
Biggie.
I mean, there's no chance of that happening either. Well, then, yeah, I mean, Adam knows. I'm a huge Mastodon fanboy, so it'd be Mastodon.
I could see that too. You guys will fit
That's
in.
a great pick, though.
It is a great pick.
Or Gojira.
Yeah.
I think so. Gojira and you guys. I think in the future, let's like manifest that shit right now.
Gojira.
Gojira.
Manifest is the right word. I'm manifesting that destiny right now. I'm ready for that.
Hell yeah.
Next Olympics, we'll play the Olympics.
The Olympics, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
feel that.
we got
We actually would prefer to play the Ozempics.
Ozempics. We got about 10 minutes left of our show.
Did you keep the car in chat?
So that's actually my stepdad's car. He's a huge like classic car collector. He even has like a early 2000s Lambo.
Wow.
So yeah, he like let us choose from all of his classic cars which one we wanted. He had that. That's a Vega. Like I think they call it a Cogsworth Vega or something like that. It's very well known in like the car community, which you can tell I am clearly not a part of.
Which was a poor choice to fit 4 grown-ass men in.
Oh yeah, and driving it down these bumpy-ass roads was rough because it has like 0 suspension. But yeah, he also has. It was his very first car. It was like I think it's a '69 Camaro that he got when he was in high school. He has a picture of himself going to the prom. In front of this Camaro, and like it's like literally hanging in his bathroom, and then the car's in the garage like right next to it. It's insane.
Wow. You guys picked the Lambo.
If you
we should have done the Lambo.
The getaway car for Jackie.
Say what?
The getaway car for Jackie.
Oh yeah, no.
And then you drive off with the knife. Yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to keep everything as like period specific as we could. Like
Oh, yeah,
there's a
that's
few
true,
things that
that's
weren't,
true.
but like I brought a guitar with me, and it's actually it was my great uncle's guitar that I just recently got. Like it's just been sitting in a closet for a while. He passed away in the early 2000s. And his brother, my other great uncle, fantastic human being, called me over to their house. He said, "Oh, we're getting ready for a garage sale. I want you to come over." And so I assumed it was like, "Oh, they need me to like lift some heavy stuff." And I'm like, "I'll do anything for him. I'll be there." So I get there, and he's got 2 guitar cases sitting out there, and he's like, "Hey, these were your uncles, and they've just been kind of with the family, but everyone got together and realized like you're the guitar player, like we want you to have them."
Oh.
And so that 12-string guitar that I had in the music video is an old Sigma 12-string, which honestly, Sigma guitars is a hilarious name for like today's world.
Right.
Sigma. But what it was in the 80s was it was an offshoot of Martin
Sigma.
guitars, which shout out Martin. They make the best acoustic guitars probably on the planet. But it's like a Martin basically, like Sigma's even in like the Martin text, like the Martin font, and that thing's awesome. But I brought that one specifically because I was like, oh, it's an 80s guitar in an 80s music video. So then we wanted to get a classic car. We wanted to make sure the house kind of like looked the right way. The beer that we got, and like it's so funny that he had the beer in his hand because he hasn't drank in 2 years. But the beers that we got, we were like, oh, this is the bottle that looks the closest to like what it would have looked like in the 80s. So not everything, you know, we were able to like pull off and make it look exactly period, I don't feel like, but I think we did a pretty good job of like picking things that made sense.
I love that shirt. It reminded me of Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, the Saved by the Bell logo.
Yeah.
So
I was going for like weird science teacher vibes or something.
Weird science teacher.
And then the wig.
With the wig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It worked.
He just does whatever he wants.
This coming from the guy that we had a Halloween show, and I was like, yo, Justin, what's your costume gonna be? He's like, I don't do Halloween costumes. I'm gonna show up as a guy in a hat. He did.
Yeah, I killed that.
He did. Yeah.
But then the next Halloween show we tried to do was a complete disaster because we wrecked our van and didn't make it to the venue, and that was a rough time.
Jeez.
He did have a costume for that one, though. He just didn't get to wear it.
The timing wasn't there.
No.
So we have 5 minutes left. Is there anything you'd like us to or like to mention that you want to have people to know of that we haven't hit yet?
Or promote. I know
or anything
you
want to
can't
talk
too
about that you have
much.
going on coming up that you
Yeah.
would like to mention?
Your next show.
Yeah, so next show, like I said, is going to be on Friday the 13th with first Jason, which is the actor who played Child Jason in the first Friday the 13th film. So we're really, really excited for that. Shout out to our friend Matt Bowler and ICT Live for setting that one up and getting us on that. That's going to be sweet. Other than that, we've got a lot of stuff in talks, coming to see some other cities. So if you're from a city other than Wichita, Kansas, stay tuned. Hopefully we'll be coming to see you soon.
Hopefully.
And then we have another video that's already done, and we're just waiting to post it. And shout out to Jackie here. He's been messing around with a program called Blender, and he's been making some like video game looking assets
3D
for a while,
design.
and he's gotten really, really good at it. So we put that to work, and we made a really cool lyric video kind of collaboratively between the two of us. And so we're really excited to show that. It's gonna be for the song.
3 of us.
I guess, yeah, the 3 of us. Yeah, actually, you know, fuck DJ, just the 2 of us. Yeah, it was actually the 3 of us. But that should be coming out soon. It's for the song Kingdom of Scorn. It's very carnival-y from hell, just like the song. So we're really excited about that. And we promise that we're not going to make you guys wait 3 more years for another album. We are already writing the next Parthian record.
Let's go!
I've been wanting to write it since before we released this last one. But we're musically firing on all cylinders. We are very excited to kind of hit the ground running with that.
Yeah,
so
we are musically erect.
yeah.
And I'm glad to see that
Yeah.
Jackie is back. And you guys are doing
Jackie's
so
backy.
well. Yes. So the new video in the works, another video. I love this video that we just saw. Is there anything else that you want to show? Any clips or anything else?
I mean, you said you want to see some live footage. If you want to
Yeah.
pull up the old YouTube,
Oh, yeah, you
we
got
just
the
did
new
it
live,
today.
yeah.
Some live footage from the album release show. It was a ton of fun. The crowd was incredible.
All right, let's load that up.
It is, yeah, it's like a minute and a half.
Yeah, it's not long.
Parthian 2025 live footage.
Here you go. And if they're anywhere close to you guys, go watch them live. Go support. Go see them. Parthian with their new album.
You guys want a heavy one? Just kidding, they're all heavy, sorry.
From Mortuorum.
Fun fact, I was sick as fuck through this whole thing.
You were ill?
Beyond.
Yeah, the angles are great.
Oh, this is good. Woo! Beautiful.
Shout out to that guy going crazy in the front row. I don't know who he was, but he like knew the words of the songs and shit, and he was just like moshing,
man.
like he was scaring all the audience members around him. But shout out to that guy.
I love seeing that. I mean, the opposite is when you see guys just standing there, like observing. Like it's always great.
And as a progressive band, like your everyday average like audience member.
Yes, and they're musicians usually too.
It'd be funny if you put.
You can tell they're loving it, but they are not moving at all.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if you put in the special thanks to is like the guy in the front row.
Going crazy.
Should have.
One other thing I wanted to mention is our riffs of the week should be starting up again soon.
Oh yeah.
I love
we
those.
have some time between shows, but yeah, catch those. We might even get DJ over here to finally play a riff on guitar.
Oh.
Let's do it. I want to see it. So you guys sometimes go on Twitch, right? And fuck around and stream. I know DJ does, right?
So I feel like we like to. We don't always have as much time as we hope for. So it's something that like is never off the table. We're never gonna like, with the exception of this guy, we're never gonna retire from Twitch for good. But I think he's retired for good. Yeah, I mean, we try to get on there whenever we can. It's such a huge part of why I think we had success with the last record was all of the people that we met and like the hype we were able to build up through there. So, yeah, I mean, just speaking from personal experience, I wish I could do it more. Life just gets in the way.
You guys are busy.
Yeah, stay tuned. You never know.
Busy is good, you know. Keep going, keep
Busy
growing.
is good. But shout out to all the friends and family in the Twitch universe, the Twitch multiverse that we're building here that they don't know about. Nothing but love for them. They still show us a ton of support when we do actually come out of our caves for a few minutes.
Well, definitely look out for that. Look out for the YouTube video coming out a week from today and clips on YenYorkCity's Instagram. We love showing you guys clips from previous people that we've had on the podcast, people we've interviewed in person, live shows. And Parthian, thank you so much for being here. And you guys, I love seeing the growth. I love seeing the albums come in. Like, I know there's always more stuff to look forward to with you guys, and I just see you guys really doing tours with like bigger names as you grow. I feel it. I feel it in my bones, and I'm so proud of you.
I want to see you guys in person too.
Yeah, I want
virtual shit
make that happen.
is killing me now. We've met each other more than 3 times on this show, and you know, outside of it on
it's
your
like
channel.
a long distance relationship.
This is hurting my heart, man. I gotta see you in person.
And seriously, thank you guys so much for always giving us a platform, always giving us a voice. Like, you guys are incredible. And the fact that you guys allowed us back on after I got absolutely annihilated drunk on the last one means the world to me. So thank you so much.
It means the world to me to have you guys back, and nothing but luck, success, and more kick-ass music, because you guys are amazing. I love you. And yeah, I hope to see you guys also live. And if you ever come to New York City, you already know we're there.
Yeah, buddy.
It's not a if, it's a win.
Yes. Yes.
Don't tease me.
Yep. All right, Parthian, stick around. Don't leave. We're going to do our segment at the end of our show. Everyone else, thank you so much for watching, hanging out. Downloadable Jexus, thank you for hanging out.
If
you're
so
watching
much.
this after the stream, make sure you're following everyone that you've seen here, and watch for their future posts and album to come. So, till then, much love, everyone. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you again
on the next
time
stream.
on our next show. Bye.